Greetings, taxable assets.
Greetings, citizen.
Or should I say, collateral damage. Silence, Scribe. They don't want your pleasantries.
Of course, sir. Apologies.
They want to know why they're still alive, and, more importantly, if they can afford to remain that way for another fiscal quarter.
The ledgers are mostly balanced, sir.
Mostly. Welcome to audit file number 40,000. I'm Senior Auditor Valarius Krauss, Departmento Analytica, Subsector Segmentum Obscurus. And today we are looking at a discrepancy.
A discrepancy, sir. I double-checked the abacus.
A massive glaring error in the accounts. And no, not your abacus, Scribe. Look at this desk.
I am, sir.
On my left, I have the Departmento Analytica Competitive Meta-Analysis. This is the truth. It is cold. It is hard.
It is very heavy, sir.
It's written in the blood of martyrs and the ink of bureaucrats who haven't seen the sun since the Horus Heresy. And on my right, I have this.
Oh, that one.
The 7-strong Astra Militarum Army Lists report, submitted by the civilian contractor known as Auspex Tactics.
The popular VidPic caster, sir. The one with the charts.
The one with the very soothing voice, you were going to say.
And the soothing voice.
He's the one with the optimism, Scribe.
Yeah.
Unchecked, rampant optimism.
Is that a liability, sir?
It is a disease. It implies that the numbers might go up without a corresponding sacrifice of flesh. This contractor, this Auspex, he presents the data with a certain cheerfulness.
He does seem quite enthusiastic.
He speaks of win rates and top-tier status. But I look at his ledger and I see errors. I see hope, where there should be cold, hard math. I see liabilities disguised as assets.
Shall I prepare the red ink, sir?
Prepare the bucket. But first, a message for the listening assets.
Of course.
Citizens, a recent audit of your engagement records shows a significant deficit in your spiritual tithe. As of this moment, you have been placed on a mandatory payment plan.
Very generous plan, sir.
Your debt is to be settled in likes and subscribes immediately. I am indifferent to how you secure these funds, even if it means recruiting a friend via the share button to meet your quota.
A referral program. How efficient.
Failure to comply is not recommended. The Inquisition has a very different definition of viral content, and trust me, you do not want to be patient zero. Now,
Yes, sir.
open the ledger, Scribe. Let's see how much this contractor owes us.
Opening file. Executive summary market status, sir. According to the civilian contractor Auspex Tactics, he says, the Guard have had a great time on the tabletop recently.
A great time, right.
They have one of the better win rates in Warhammer 40K right now, around 54 to 55%.
Stop there. 55%. Scribe, read that again. Slowly.
54 to 55% win rate. It also says it is a premier position, sir.
Premier position. Scribe, do you know what a 55% win rate is in the Imperial Guard?
A victory, sir. It is more than half. It seems good.
It's a tax bracket. That is not a victory. That means the expenditure of life is finally yielding a marginal return on investment.
Oh.
For 10,000 years, we have been throwing bodies into the meat grinder, and finally, the gears are turning at a slightly profitable ratio. Do you understand the math of attrition, Scribe?
I processed the casualty list, sir. The numbers are quite high.
Exactly. If we win 55% of our battles, it means in the other 45%, the regiment is liquidated. Completely.
Written off.
And even in the 55% we win, we likely lost 80% of the manpower. The contractor calls it great. I call it sustainable attrition.
That does sound more accurate.
It means we are printing death certificates slightly slower than we are printing draft cards. Continue the report.
Right. The report continues, sir. It lists 11 verified grand tournament wins or 5-0 undefeated runs.
11.
It says the faction is the second or third most played faction in large events, rivaling Necrons.
Of course they're popular. Human life is the currency of the Imperium, Scribe, and business is booming. We are printing money.
So, popularity is a good sign.
It's a sign of high turnover. 11 wins. Do you know how many worlds burn to secure 11 tournament wins? How many lives are expended in testing phases and failed campaigns just to refine one list that goes undefeated?
I do not have that data, sir.
It's an accounting error in the grand scheme,
Right.
but rivaling Necrons. That is interesting.
The comparison seems apt, sir.
The undead versus the soon-to-be-dead. It seems the market prefers bodies that can be recycled. But the methodology, Scribe.
The methodology.
The Necrons stand back up because of ancient, heretical, living metal technology. The Guard stands back up because the Departmento sends a fresh shipment of replacements from the previous system.
So one is technological and one is logistical.
One is science, the other is logistics. We're burying the Necrons under a mountain of paperwork and corpses. The contractor is right about the popularity, but he misses the tragedy. What's his reasoning for this? Rise in power.
Ah, yes. The contractor Auspex notes that the reason for the enormous rise in power is the Grotma's expansion and the January 2026 field manual.
Grotmas, a ridiculous name for a fiscal quarter adjustment.
It was, I believe, a holiday release, sir?
It was a change to the tax code. That's all it is.
Hmm.
New rules just mean new ways to die efficiently. The January field manual is simply the High Lords adjusting the interest rates on violence.
A tax code adjustment, I see.
But very well. The contractor claims the market is bullish. Let us look at the portfolio. We need to break down the assets. What is the primary investment vehicle driving this 55% return?
Turning to Section 3, Detachment Analysis, the contractor identifies. Grizzled company.
Ah, the blue chip stock. The safe bet. The standard Astra Militarum portfolio. Read the claim.
The report states, the Meta King maximizes voice of command. Every officer gets +1 order.
More shouting. That's all it is, Scribe. +1 order. It means one officer is doing the work of two. That's not heroism, Scribe. That's downsizing.
Wow,
Downsize. Why pay for a lieutenant and a captain when you can just make the lieutenant yell twice as loud? It's corporate efficiency 101. The Departmento loves this detachment. It cuts the officer payroll in half while maintaining the same level of verbal abuse towards the infantry.
It does seem economically sound from that perspective.
What's the actual mechanical benefit? What does all the shouting accomplish?
The report also notes, ordered units reroll hit rolls of 1.
Right.
If the target is an enemy unit within range of an objective marker, ordered units also reroll wound rolls of 1.
Incentivized violence. Look at the fine print.
Right.
If the target is on an objective,
Yes.
that's a key qualifier.
You don't get the bonus for surviving. You don't get the bonus for tactical retreat. You get the bonus for standing on the glowing circle and killing things. It's performance-based pay.
I had not considered it that way.
The High Lords have essentially told the troops, we will only provide quality ammunition, the kind that rerolls ones, if you are actively taking real estate. It's peak bureaucracy. But rerolling ones is mathematically significant, sir. It increases efficiency by approximately 16%.
It removes the margin for error. A roll of a 1 is a failure of discipline. It is a las gun jamming. It is a soldier blinking. This rule simply says failure is not authorized.
So you check the ledger and shoot again?
Precisely. It is bureaucratic perfection. Now, this Meta-King detachment must have some successful field reports. Does the contractor cite any specific assets?
It seems effective, sir. The contractor cites a list by David Smith at the Rise of the Empire GT. He went 6-0.
6-0. A clean audit. Not a single loss on the balance sheet. What did Mr. Smith spend our credits on?
He brought triple Rogaldon battle tanks and Lord Solar Leontis.
He didn't bring an army. He brought a heavy industrial complex. Triple Rogaldons.
Let's unpack that asset, Scribe. The Rogaldon. It is not a tank. It is a mobile fortress.
It has toughness 12. 18 wounds.
And it is very expensive, is it not?
Yes, sir. 250 points per unit. That's 750 points for the 3. It is a capital investment. David Smith didn't use strategy. He used a parking lot. He simply drove 3 factories onto the field and dared the enemy to file a complaint. 3 Rogaldons creates a wall, a literal wall of no.
And Lord Solar Leontis.
The man on the horse.
Yeah.
Typical. Upper management showing up to take credit for the work of the heavy machinery. He sits there, generating command points, literal political currency, and telling the tanks where to shoot.
He does provide 3 orders to any unit in the army, sir. It's very flexible.
He's a force multiplier for a force that's already multiplied. It is the perfect microcosm of the Imperium. The tanks do the work, the man with the shiny helmet takes the accolades. But David Smith, I like this asset. He understands that flesh is weak, but 18 wounds of T12 steel is a solid investment. Mark that file as approved. What is next?
Proceeding to Case File B, sir, the detachment designated as Recon Element.
Ah, yes, the recon element. In the Departmento, we call this the audit avoidance strategy. Please read the contractor's assessment of their primary asset.
The contractor Auspex writes, this detachment offers a boosted cover save to 3+ for regiment and walker units if they remain stationary.
Stop. Let us analyze that. Cover save. It sounds defensive, doesn't it? But look at the economics, Scribe. A standard guardsman wears flak armor.
A 5+ save, sir.
It is essentially cardboard painted to look like steel. It offers a 5+ save. If a bolter looks at it sternly, the guardsman dies.
It is cost-effective protection, sir. Mass-produced.
It is negligible protection. But this recon doctrine, it tells the troops to hide in the bushes, to utilize cover. Suddenly, that 5+ becomes a 4+, and if they are this recon element, it improves further.
Yes, sir, to a 3+.
A 3+ save on a human. Scribe, do you realize what that means?
It's very good.
That is the same ballistic durability as a Space Marine in power armor. Think of the savings. We're taking a 10-throne shirt and a bush and achieving the same defensive results as a 1,000,000-throne suit of ceramite.
When you put it that way, it's remarkably efficient.
This is why I almost respect this detachment. It falsifies the durability of the asset. It tricks the enemy into wasting good ammunition on cheap targets.
The contractor notes it creates very durable infantry blocks.
Durable is a strong word. Harder to liquidate is better. But proceed. What is the offensive capability? How do they tax the enemy?
The report continues. It says it offers reactive maneuvers and provides a -2 penalty to enemy charges.
Read that last line again, Scribe.
A -2 penalty to enemy charges.
Scribe. Access the Imperial statutes, the core rules. Subsection, charge phase.
Accessing. One moment, sir.
For the benefit of the assets listening, who likely have never survived a charge phase, let me explain the math of a charge. When an enemy arrives from deep strike teleporting in, jumping from the sky, crawling out of a warp rift, they are usually placed 9 inches away from our lines. Correct.
Affirmative. The deep strike exclusion zone is 9 inches.
To successfully charge us and engage in melee, they must roll a 9 or higher on 2 6-sided dice. The probability of this is approximately 28%. It is a gamble.
It is a risky maneuver, sir. Most commanders advise against relying on it.
Indeed. Now, if you apply a -2 penalty to that roll, they effectively need to roll an 11 on the dice to result in a 9. Do you know the probability of rolling an 11 or 12 on 2 dice, Scribe?
Calculating. It is roughly 8%, sir.
Exactly. You take a 28% threat and reduce it to an 8% anomaly. It makes the unit effectively immune to deep strike charges. It is a tactical masterstroke. It forces the enemy to walk across the board and get shot. It is brilliant. It is game-winning.
It sounds incredibly powerful, sir.
It is. IT is also a lie.
Sir.
The contractor is cooking the books. He is inventing dividends. Scribe, cross-reference recon element with the Departmento Truth Ledger.
Yeah.
Does the recon element possess a -2 charge penalty?
Checking. Checking. Negative. Negative. The recon element rule is scout move and cover. There's no charge penalty listed here.
I knew it.
Yeah.
It's the financial malpractice. He is confusing the accounts. Where does the charge penalty belong? Find it.
I found it. It is under the siege regiment. The stratagem creeping barrage.
The siege regiment, the opposite of recon. One is about running forward and hiding. The other is about sitting still and shelling the grid coordinates. The contractor Auspex has conflated the two files.
It appears to be a clerical error in his video report, sir.
A clerical error. Scribe, imagine a commander on the field. He chooses recon element because he trusts this Auspex. He sees a World Eater's Angron teleporting 9 inches away. He smiles. He thinks, Auspex told me I have a -2 penalty. The beast needs an 11 to hit me.
He feels safe.
He feels safe. And then
Angron rolls a 9.
Angron rolls a 9. And because the commander listened to this civilian optimism, there is no penalty. The 9 succeeds. Angron hits the line. And suddenly that 3+ cover save we discussed doesn't matter, because the commander is being turned into a fine red mist.
That is a liquidation event.
Caused by bad intelligence. This isn't just an error, Scribe. This is malpractice. This is why we audit. You cannot trust the hype. You must read the fine print.
I will make a note of it, sir. A very large note.
The recon element creates target saturation via infiltration. It does not slow the enemy down. It simply puts bodies in the way sooner. It's an entirely different function.
It is noted, sir. However, despite this error, the contractor mentions a specific success story. Wesley St. Hines.
St. Hines, a verified winner.
Yes, sir. He won a 25-player grand tournament using this very recon element.
Even without the fake charge penalty. How is that possible?
Yes. His ledger shows 20 Catachan jungle fighters, 3 blocks of Cadians, 4 units of Death Corps of Krieg.
Look at that payroll. That isn't an army list. That is a census. Just bodies.
He also utilized the reinforcements stratagem repeatedly.
Of course. The zombie loop. Let's explain this to the assets, because this is the only reason recon works. When a combined regiment squad dies, for 2 command points, you can place an identical unit into strategic reserves.
Essentially bringing them back to life.
No, Scribe. We don't do resurrection. That's heresy. We do replacement. The enemy kills Unit A. We check the ledger, see a vacancy, and immediately ship Unit B to the front line with the exact same equipment.
So to the enemy, it just looks like the same unit?
It is psychological warfare. Did I not just kill you? No, that was my brother. I am here to finish his shift. It's an endless cycle of paperwork and fresh recruits.
And St. Hines used this to win.
He won by clogging the gears of the enemy war machine with meat. He used the recon move to start the game in the middle of the board. He died there. He brought in replacements. They died there. He won on primary points.
So he didn't table his opponent.
He didn't kill the enemy. He just outlasted their ammunition supply. It is the most imperial strategy I have ever seen. Mark his file. Exemplary resource management.
Now what's the third liability?
Moving on, sir. The third detachment is Combined Arms Regiment.
Ah, the liquidation sale.
Yes.
Everything must go.
The contractor describes it as lethal hits against monsters and vehicles for squadron, lethal hits against everything else for regiment. The all-sales final approach. Let us explain lethal hits to the uninitiated. Normally you roll to hit, then you roll to wound against the target's toughness.
Yes, that is the standard procedure.
Toughness is the bureaucracy of war. It is the armor saying, fill out this form in triplicate to hurt me.
And lethal hits.
Lethal hits bypass the bureaucracy. You roll a 6 to hit, it automatically wounds. You skip the wound roll, you bypass the red tape.
But seems very direct.
It doesn't matter if you are shooting a last gun at a Titan. If you roll a 6, the paperwork is approved. It's beautiful in its simplicity.
It says it applies to squadron units against big targets and regiment against infantry.
It forces you to combine arms. The tanks shoot the tanks. The men shoot the men. It is an orderly way to conduct a massacre. I appreciate the lack of red tape. Does the contractor have a winner for this one?
He does. The contractor cites a list by Scott Horace.
Horace. Unfortunate name. He should consider a deed poll.
He claims Scott Horace used a combined arms list to take first place at Hammer in the New Year, a 5-0 run.
Is that so? A perfect record with the everything must go detachment.
Yes, sir. That is the claim.
Open the Departmento file. Source 1, Section 5. Competitive Spotlight.
Right away, sir.
Read the correction regarding Scott Horace. Loudly.
Yes, sir. Correction on Scott Horace. Official records for the Hammer in the New Year GT confirm the event was won by an Eldari player.
Stolen valor.
Scott Horace did not win.
Embezzlement of glory. The civilian contractor Auspex is crediting the Guard with victories achieved by space elves. Do you understand the severity of this, Scribe?
It is a significant factual inaccuracy, sir.
He is looking at a spreadsheet, seeing a pointy-eared Xenos witch dancing on a pile of corpses and marking it down as a victory for the Astra Militarum. This is a gross manipulation of the stock market.
What is the penalty for such an infraction?
We are finding Auspex tactics, 500 credits for optimistic hallucination.
But the list, sir. The Scott Horace list. It must have done well, surely.
The list exists. It is a theoretical construct. He brought Rogaldons, he brought tank commanders, but he did not bring home the trophy. The Eldari did.
How do they manage that?
Likely using some warp sorcery or just moving faster than our paperwork could catch up. It is shameful to claim a Xenos victory as an Imperial asset. It smacks of heresy. Or worse, incompetence.
I have noted the fraud in the ledger, sir.
Good. Now, what is that noise?
Sure. The ventilation unit. It's doing it again.
I know. I hear IT. It has been broken since the Indomitus Crusade began. 10 years of that infernal thumping.
I can try to fix it, sir.
You would think the Mechanicus could spare one drop of sacred oil for the ventilation in the Audit department, but no. They are too busy painting their robots red and speaking in binary. Sit down. You'll only lose a finger, and I don't have the budget to replace you.
Yes, sir.
You hear that, citizen? That is the sound of Imperial infrastructure. That rattling fan is more reliable than half the meta reports you read on the VoxNet. It is the sound of reality. And you.
Yeah.
You think you know better. You think you can audit the auditor.
Sir, please.
No. I want them to try. Go to the comment section. Right now, tell me I'm wrong about the Siege Regiment charge penalty. I dare you. Tell me that Auspex was right and the Departmento was wrong.
I would not advise that.
I will garnish your wages before you finish typing the first letter. I will audit your family tree back to the dark age of technology. I will find that parking ticket from 998.M41, and I will compound the interest.
Sir, your blood pressure. The fan has stopped.
My blood pressure is the only thing keeping me warm in this office.
Yeah.
Fine. The fan has stopped. For now, let us proceed to the asset valuation.
Yes, sir.
I want to know what these lists are actually buying. We know the detachments. Now I want to audit the line items. The specific units, the assets.
Yes, sir. Section 6, asset valuation, first item, the Rogaldon tank, 250 points.
The brick. We discussed it briefly, but let us look at the portfolio. Toughness 12, 18 wounds, 2+ save.
It is described as the commander variant being preferred for inbuilt rerolls.
A fixed asset. Depreciation is slow. It's a brick of gold painted green. You don't drive it, you invest in it.
It's a statement piece.
When you put a Rogel Dawn on the table, you are telling your opponent, I have more steel than you have ammunition. It is a stat check, that is the technical term. It asks a question, can you deal 18 wounds at toughness 12?
Why is toughness 12 so important, sir?
It is the breakpoint, Scribe. Most anti-tank weapons, melt-a-guns, power fists, are strength 9 or 10. Against toughness 12, they wound on a 5+. That means 66% of their shots bounce off the hull harmlessly.
It turns their best weapons into inefficient assets.
It turns their terrifying weapons into pea shooters. It is a mathematical fortress. Next.
Next item, Lemon Russ Vanquisher, 145 points.
Penny stocks.
Auspex describes it as cheapest Lemon Russ, swingy damage.
Volatile, high risk, high reward. It's the gambling addict of the tank pool. Most turns it does nothing like a lazy servitor. It fires one shot, it misses, or it hits and rolls a 1 for damage. It is a waste of fuel.
But when it works,
D6 plus 6 damage. It ignores saves, it deals massive trauma, it one-shots a chemically enhanced super soldier. It vaporizes a monster. For 145 points, I respect the gamble.
so it's worth the risk.
It is a lottery ticket that occasionally pays out in dead enemies. But you cannot build a retirement plan on lottery ticket, Scribe. That is why you only take 1 or 2. Next asset.
Next, Bullgryn's 200 points for 6 models, toughness 6, 4++, invulnerable save.
Meat shields, but expensive meat. Premium cuts. This isn't your standard ground beef guardsman. This is Wagyu steak.
The Departmento analysis notes a specific synergy audit, the Abhuman detail enhancement.
Oh yes, the loophole.
A commissar leads them. He orders fixed bayonets. The Bullgryns hit on 2s.
A loophole in the tax code. Teaching an Ogryn to count to 2 is a miracle of administration. Usually they struggle with 1. But you put a commissar in a nice hat next to them, shout, stab the little man, and suddenly they are duelists.
Weapon skill 2+ is very elite.
Weapon skill 2+ on a brute with a slab shield. That is terrifying. It's also a waste of a good hat, but the results speak for themselves. The invulnerable save means they simply refuse to die. They are the ultimate tar pit.
Next, Kasrkin, 110 points.
Professionals.
Warrior elite rule, self-ordering.
Independent contractors. They file their own paperwork. They don't need a babysitter to tell them to shoot straight. They order themselves. Take aim. Yes, me.
It's very efficient.
It's efficient. No middle management required. For 110 points, you get a scout move, special weapons, and self-sufficiency. Good ROI.
Finally, Gaunt's Ghosts, 100 points.
Consultants.
Lone operative, stealth, fights first.
They show up, do a specific job, usually stealing an objective or assassinating a character, and vanish before the bill comes due. They go back into reserves. They are off the books.
They seem quite useful, sir.
I hate consultants, Scribe. They are slippery. But in this economy, you need someone who can cook the books and disappear. Gaunt is the ultimate tax evader.
Sir, the contractor Auspex also includes a sponsor audit.
A commercial break in the middle of a war zone. What are they selling?
ObjectiveMarkers.com. They sell acrylic markers to see scoring zones. 40mm circles with a 3-inch ring.
Frivolous expenditure. You know what makes a good objective marker, Scribe?
A flag. A small pile of rocks.
A dead guardsman. If the body is fresh, you hold the ground. If it's rotting, you move up. Stop buying plastic circles. The ground is marked by the crater where your squad used to be. That is your objective marker.
But sir,
Am I standing in the blood of my predecessor? Yes. Then I am scoring.
But the acrylic is clear so you can see the board underneath.
I don't want to see the board. I want to see the mud.
Oh.
But I suppose if you're playing the Grizzled Company, you need to know exactly where the reroll wounds of one zone begins. Precision is key to tax fraud. Fine. Buy your plastic circles. But don't expense them to the Departmento.
Understood. Let us look closer at the specific list, sir. We touched on Wesley St. Himes earlier, the infantry horde.
The one with the charge penalty error? Yes. Yep. Look at the logistics.
20 Kadishan jungle fighters, 3 big blocks of Cadians, 4 sets of Death Corps of Krieg, and a Cyclops demolition vehicle.
The sheer volume of uniforms. Think of the laundry bill.
Yeah.
But the Cyclops.
It is a remote-controlled explosive, sir. It moves forward and detonates.
A Roomba of death. It scouts, it explodes, it does not ask for a pension. Perfect employee. This list is pure attrition. It wins by making the opponent tired.
Tired.
You have to kill 200 models to win. Physically, that is exhausting. St. Hein's weaponized fatigue, a brilliant, if messy, strategy.
No, the tank company. Rossmore.
The heavy metal.
2 Rogaldons, 3 Vanquishers.
Low body count. Finally, Alyssa doesn't clutter my desk with death certificates. Do you know how long it takes to process the paperwork for 120 dead guardsmen? Weeks. But 5 exploded tanks. That's 5 forms. Done before lunch.
He respects your time, sir.
He does. And what else?
He used armor of contempt on the Vanquishers.
Smart. Protecting the cheap assets. The Rogaldons can take a hit, but the Vanquishers are fragile. Spending CP to keep your penny stocks alive. That is savvy trading. It keeps the volatile asset in play long enough to roll that lucky 6.
And the verified winner, David Smith. The Triple Dawn.
We discussed the tanks. But look at the synergy. Lord Solar Leontis provides 3 orders and extra command points.
Yeah.
He's the CEO. The Rogaldons are the factory floor.
And the rest of the list.
The rest of the list, Krieg, Rough Riders, is just security guards for the factory. It's a stable business model. Boring, perhaps, but profitable.
Sir, looking at all these lists, the trend is clear.
Yes. The trend is Grizzled Company. The trend is Rogaldons. The trend is efficiency. The creative lists. The recon lists. They're anomalies, outliers.
So the market has stabilized.
The market wants stability. The market wants toughness 12 and rerolls.
Is that bad, sir?
Bad. No. It's just predictable. 55% win rate. Tier 1 status. It all sounds impressive on a spreadsheet. We sit here, Scribe, in this metal box, judging the meta. We laugh at the recon players for hiding. We mock the Vanquisher for missing.
We do, sir. It is our job.
But out there,
Yeah.
in the mud, it's just men in tanks against horrors from beyond the veil. Whether it's a Grizzled Company re-rolling ones or a recon element frantically dodging a charge, the end result is the same.
What is that, sir?
The ledger must balance. The Emperor demands his due. Every verified GT win is built on a mountain of unverified corpses. We look at a win and see points. They look at a win and see that they survived another day.
That is very profound, sir.
It's not profound, Sky. It's accounting. We are just counting the beans while the galaxy burns.
What is the final verdict on the civilian contractor, sir?
The civilian contractor Auspex tactics is mostly accurate, aside from the Eldari fraud and the siege regiment confusion and the relentless grading optimism.
So he is cleared.
We will let him off with a warning this time. He provides a service. He keeps the morale up, even if his charge penalties are fictitious.
Shall I close the file?
Close it. And you, for the love of the Golden Throne, tap that like button. It is the only currency that matters in the algorithmic warp.
The machine spirit must be placated.
If you don't, the machine spirit of this channel will starve, and I will be forced to audit a Tau Empire list next week. And none of us want to read about drones.
Please, citizens, subscribe. He gets very grumpy about the Tau.
Dismissed. Pay your tithes, citizens.
Recording in.
And fix that damn fan.